Hi, welcome to the Spirit, the Beyond Files.
Ready to question reality? You're in the right place.
Let's dive in.
Imagine walking into a church where every wall, chandelier, and decoration is made entirely of human bones. Welcome to the Sedlec Ossuary in the Czech Republic, one of the world's most macabre historical sites. Let's explore the chilling story behind this bone-covered cathedral. The story of Sedlec Ossuary. In the 13th century, a monk sprinkled soil from Jerusalem's Golgotha over the Sedlec cemetery, making it a popular burial site. But by the 1400s, the Black Death and wars filled the cemetery beyond capacity. To solve the overcrowding, the bones were exhumed and stored in a chapel beneath the church. In 1870, a woodcarver named František Rint was hired to organize the bones. Instead of simply stacking them, Rint turned the remains of over 40,000 people into an eerie work of art. The result? Chandeliers made of skulls, bone pyramids, and walls adorned with human remains. The centerpiece of the Sedlec Ossuary is its chandelier, made from every bone in the human body. It hangs as a haunting reminder of mortality, and visitors from around the world come to marvel at its grim beauty. Despite its creepiness, the bone church wasn't built to terrify. It was meant to inspire. The use of bones was a stark reminder of the inevitability of death and the hope of eternal life. Today, Sedlec Ossuary attracts thousands of visitors each year. While many are fascinated by its unique design, others feel uneasy walking among so many human remains. It's not just a church, it's a museum of mortality. The Sedlec Ossuary is both a haunting reminder of history and a stunning example of how humans can find beauty even in death. Would you visit a church made entirely of bones, or is this too eerie for you? Let us know in the comments. The ultimate question remains, can art born from mortality teach us about life? Share your thoughts and feelings about this extraordinary place.
I do think it sounds cool. I'd want to visit, but also I am kind of afraid of the energetic vibration that I would be overcome with when I entered it. But the thought of visiting it would be cool.
It's kind of the same as an Indian burial ground in a way, because are these people at rest? I think I'd have to see it just
Yeah. It's intriguing.
Something genuinely kind of creepy just happened a couple hours ago, Halloween, and I just have to share it with you. I've been handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters who come to my house, for a couple hours. My roommate is gone. He's still working. I am definitely the only one in the house. So the doorbell rings. I open the door, and it's just these two, maybe 5-year-old boys. They're just sweet. They're adorable. They say trick or treat. So I've got my front door propped open. I'm handing them the candy, and then this one little boy looks around me and goes, "Who's he?" I am alone in my house. I turn sideways, see no one's there, and I was just like, who? There's no one here. And he kept looking, and he went, "Okay." And then he just turned around and walked away. Once again, I am alone. I kept it together because I've got these cute little kids trick-or-treating, but I shut that door and I literally just stood by my front door staring at nothing for a minute or two. Anyway, happy Halloween. I'm not sleeping tonight.
I'd be asking, what do they look like? What are they wearing? I'd want more description.
I know kids can see things, but what if he was just tricking her?
Yeah.
Because it was trick or treat. It was Halloween. Could be a trick.
Could be a treat.
Oh, don't mind me while I blow your freaking mind for a second. I am about to put you on to one of the most incredible and transformational things you will ever listen to in your life. So this is the Telepathy Tapes by Kai Dickens, and it explores the cases of telepathic abilities within the most incredible group. It is individuals who are autistic and non-verbal. I'm going to be doing a 4-video deep dive, but I want to give you guys the spark notes of it. So Kai was first introduced to the phenomenon of telepathy within non-verbal autistic individuals through a podcast that was featuring Dr. Diane Powell, who is a neuropsychologist that came from Johns Hopkins, and I believe she's at Harvard now. They talk of the tens of thousands of cases of mothers who think, my child can read my mind. But a lot of them don't bring it up because they just think they're crazy, or other people will think they're crazy. But they're not, and it's an incredibly common experience. So on the podcast with Dr. Powell, they set up these experiments with insane controls. It's crazy, it's crazy. They'll take someone like the mother, they'll put them in a room, they'll give them this random number generator, or they'll show them pictures. In the other room, a child will be blindfolded. After the mother is shown something, the child will be told that they can take off the blindfold and then they can type into an iPad what they saw. These kids, they never miss. They never miss. They see through their mother's eyes. They hear what she's thinking. Oh, and if you think that's where it ends, no, we're just getting started. One of the reoccurring things that comes up when they talk to all of these various children, does not matter where they are in the world, they talk about something they call the hill. It is a place where they can all send their consciousness and talk to other children with the same abilities, other people with the same abilities. The podcast talks about a kid from Georgia who was best friends with a kid from Utah and how they would talk every single day by going to the hill. So many of these children have been able to communicate through letterboards or typing. The podcast teaches you what that is. Here's some of the things that they wish the world would know. Number one, that they know things. They know things that they can teach us, but no one will listen. Another quote that was incredible is they said, "In my world, we don't speak. We communicate through our eyes." Another said, "Audible speakers, us, we only see one side of the story. There's so much to it that we don't know." It's so fascinating to me that every faith-based tradition talks about a time coming where the dumb shall speak. But I guess the question is, are you willing to listen? You need to listen to this. Everybody needs to. It's 9 incredible episodes. It is going to blow your mind. If you're not sold, let me give you a few more examples. They show examples of extraordinary cases of savantism, like a girl who knows dozens of languages without ever being taught. A boy who can instantaneously solve the most complex math equations because he sees them in colors. Many of the children have photographic memories and can recall complex data because they experience it. They can touch books and immediately know the contents. I'm not kidding. So why does this matter? This is Kai Dickens, by the way. Number one, it's going to show you the limitations that you put onto your own consciousness. Number two, it's going to expand your ideas of what consciousness is. And 3, when you're done listening, you are going to see what I've been making content about, that we are living in a simulated reality or a holographic reality. This is not base reality. This is not what is real. It feels real. I get that. But there is a base that is more real and you can tap into it. Like I said, I'm doing a 3-episode deep dive because this whole 3-minute video doesn't even scratch the freaking surface. It is time for you to open your eyes and experience truth. It is time to give a platform to these angels who are here on earth to teach us. We just need to listen.
Yeah, I think that there's a new generation coming in that have these telepathic abilities. I don't know if you call them star seeds or it's a certain generation of kids. But I definitely am interested in the telepathy tapes. I would listen to that podcast because that seems really cool.
Same.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, especially children with autism, they have superpowers.
Yeah, they have to have something.
Gentleman, as you saw, that is freaking out on an airplane, and the image is shown of what was sitting next to him. I don't know if it was a shapeshifter. I don't know if it was a demon. Most people are saying it was an alien. It looks like it's some form of demon creature that maybe transformed in front of him. And as you can see, a bunch of people, they were all jumping up and videoing.
We have another airplane demon, alien.
Yeah, what is up with the creatures and the airplanes?
Why would they even need? Don't they have UAPs to fly around in? Or they just want to be with the people?
Yeah, they're like the ones like in Men in Black.
They want the warm, hot nuts that are served.
They're warm and hot.
That's in first class.
Oh, I've never been in first class.
Me neither.
Do you see? Do you see?
November 16 of 2024, a school teacher stands outside of his class while struggling to remain calm. Only a few minutes ago, he was just inside setting up decorations for his class when he had to stop and immediately walk out after seeing something that made him jump out of his skin. Now, the school that he teaches at doesn't really have a history of paranormal occurrences, but the students there would often make up stories and rumors about the school being haunted, specifically by a student who used to go there. Whether or not this student actually existed remains a mystery, but tonight, after encountering what just happened, he no doubt believes that his class is haunted, if not the whole school. It appears that someone is sitting at a desk towards the back of the class while facing the board in front of it. Now, just for reference, this is what it usually looks like when there isn't someone occupying a seat. Nothing stands out because clearly nothing is there.
It's the reflection thing. That's what gets me every time.
Yeah.
I don't like the reflection thing.
It's so hard to know if I'd be scared or excited, because I get excited when I experience things like that. But I guess if you're not into that, then
Yeah.
you would be scared.
And I think depending on the vibe, because it could have this dark, creepy, sinister vibe, or it could just have
Yeah.
just a paranormal, normal people are afraid of it type of vibe.
It's very weird.
Man, I'll tell you what, this is going to sound crazy. If anybody wants to think I'm nuts, I've had one call where it's kind of funny to say this, where I just went, if there's such a thing as demonic possession, this might be it. And, because you deal with unstable people all the time, but this one call I had, it was just like, you're not thinking that when you're on the call. You're not thinking, oh, that's just the devil. I've seen The Exorcist. I can just, power of Christ compels you. Let's move on.
What do you mean by call? Like,
I got called to I was working with this young officer, and we got called up to this house up here on the mountain over by, it's up here on top of High Ridge, at Franklin Hills area, way up here. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the call comes in on the computer, and it says this guy wants his wife taken to the psychiatric center. He's just the officers to give her a ride. And I was kind of like, man, that's your wife. That's your problem, man. You take her. But I felt like a dick when I got there because it was anything but. We get there, we knock on the door, and this elderly man opens, and he says, hey, my wife's been in the psych center for months. They've let her go, and she needs to go back. And I'm afraid to put hands on her because I don't want to fight her. I don't want her to fight back, and I don't want to be accused of hurting my wife. We've been through enough. I'm a jerk, man. She starts telling me a little bit about her, right? He says, well, she's upstairs. He goes, she's been out, I don't know, a few weeks, but she's not eating. She hasn't showered. She's not taking care of herself. She's not on her meds. And she's just been pacing up and down, back and forth, just pacing. And he goes, be careful where you step when you go up there because there's blood along the floor. All right, because she'd been dragging her feet and it just like gnawed her feet down. And it was causing them to bleed out.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. So right then, their son comes out of the kitchen or something. He's like, hey, what's up, you guys? We're like, hey, what's up, man? And I notice he has those T-shirts, those wife beaters, that's what they're called, the tank top, real tight. And I notice he has fresh ink on. He just got tatted up because he's got ointment. I just catch this. And so we're all talking. And, the dude says, well, go upstairs. Just be careful. She's up there. This is kind of already eerie because he's like, be careful. All right, man.
Wait, were you by yourself?
I had
Okay.
an officer with me. I had a young female with me. And as we walk up the steps, beautiful home. I can't reiterate how lovely this home was. As we come up off the steps, there's these double doors. And man, it's like right out of the movies. There she is. She's straight back. And she's just kind of taking that torque stance where she just tweaked, and her hair is just stringy and matted down, just all matted out. And her skin is just pasty, and she's doing this breathing like, I'm going, fuck. I'm going, man. And she pops up, right? And she just starts walking towards us. I'm going like, oh shit. And that's like, I'm going like, what do you do? I'm like, hey, come here. Give me your hands. Let's talk this out. Like, no, that's not going to work, man. And she walks right towards me, and she beelines it right back to where she was started. And she's just going back and forth, dragging her feet. And she's like hyperventilating and her body's jerking. I'm going like, what the fuck? No, I'm well-versed in crazy bitch because I've dated a few of them. But this was on another level, man. This was on another level. And I get the officer I'm with starts talking to her, and they're like facing each other. And this lady, she just looks at me. She just turns and looks at me, right? And she shallows her breathing, and she's looking at me, and I'm going like, what the fuck is she doing, man? I felt like red flag one, like something in her was watching me. I know that sounds nuts. That sounds like when we're looking at each other now, it's not like that.
Don't worry, we've got you covered. I've got part 2. I searched for it. But could you do us a favor and hit the like button, the subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every time we put a new video up? That would help us immensely, and we thank you for that.
Like something was, I'm going, this is fucking weird. So right then, their son comes upstairs and he sees I'm engaged in this. He goes, hey, man. I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, I'm a Christian rapper. I'm going like, what? He goes, yeah, man, I drop beats for the Lord. Like, okay, I mean, and I'm telling
what
my
a house.
yeah, I'm going, let's get her. We got to get her. Let's get her out of here. And then right then, this old man comes up and he has something in his hand. And I'll get to that in a second. He has something in his hand. And the kid does something. Red flag number 2. The kid takes a key out and he unlocks his bedroom door and a deadbolt. And I'm going, who does that?
Right.
I mean, you don't even have keys on this, probably on your doors, you know, to the bedrooms here.
Regular.
Yeah. Who has keys?
Yeah, the little inside lock on the doorknobs.
And this is also custom where it's a deadbolt.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? But I'm thinking that I'm not thinking. It's just like things are like, and he says, hey, check this out. And he has this little machine. It says you can drop, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, dude. He has his Bible and he sees that I have tattoos. He goes, do you have to cover those up? I'm like, yeah, man. He goes, check this out. And he shows that tattoo now. And it's this angelic Christian, whatever this thing is, like a protector, a heavenly protector type thing, some religious thing. And he sees I'm watching this and I'm telling the officer, let's go. Let's get her going. It's the whole time she's engaged in me. And the kid says something, and I'll never forget this. Now, again, you know, I say demonic or this, if it's something else, it's not like Hollywood, man. They're not crawling on the walls and heads spinning around and these voices and all that cool shit. You know, no, this is real. And this kid says, sir, I'm like, what's up, man? He goes, this is nothing. I'm like, what do you mean this is nothing? He goes, you should hear it at night. I go, what?
Jeez.
Because you should hear it at night. I go, this is your mother. You refer to her as it? He goes, that's not my mom, bro. He goes, I don't know what that is. He goes, and that's why I lock my door. I went, fuck this, man. So we get her, right? We're like, until the officer, we got to take her. Well, then the old man standing there with that thing in his hand. You know how nowadays we have our phones and I can show you pictures or just send you pictures. Like, this is my daughters, my family, whatever.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu, whatever we're doing. He has a Rolodex, like 3x5 pictures that maybe your parents had, you know, like a little album.
Right.
And they had just moved here from maybe Idaho or Iowa. Again, lovely home. And he's flipping through it and he gets through this picture of this woman in the kitchen in that house. And that was her. And she's stunning. And I'm like, is this her? He goes, yeah. I go, what happened? He goes, we don't know. They don't know. I said, is she an addict? Is she on drugs? She history of any of that?
But wait, they don't know who she is?
That's his wife. They don't know what happened to her, according to her husband.
Oh, so the kid said that's not his mom.
Yeah. What he's saying, what he's seeing, like what she's doing
in her current state.
Yes. He goes, that's not my mom.
Okay.
That's not like what he's saying is that's not the woman I know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's mom. But
so he deadbolts his door at night because of her.
Yes.
The demons come out.
Whatever it is, man.
Fuck.
Yeah. And we ended up, you know, there's no dramatic, heroic ending. We ended up getting her to the psychiatric center. We gave her a ride. The breathing continued. Her demeanor continued. And we turned her over to the psych center. Her husband was there, walked her in, and that was the end of it. Don't know what ever happened. But it makes you wonder, like, what's going on? Like for her own son to go, lock it up, you know, and he's turning it all made sense. It was like one of those Kaiser Sosa moments from The Usual Suspects where everything comes together, man. Like it all made sense. You know, he's just protecting himself. He's turning his life over to God, his talent for God, you know, Bibles and tattoos of God, you know, this. I'm just going, wow, man, this must really be affecting this guy, man. So, oh yeah. I mean, is it just some mental illness? I don't know.
Was the son, do you think he got more on the religious side because of that?
Mm-hmm.
Or
do you think maybe she played a role in that spiritually somehow by saying, I will get taken over by this because my son maybe he needed guidance or redirection because maybe he was off in his life, or maybe she was mentally ill and in the psychiatric ward, she picked something up there, something demonic that was roaming through. Because to me, that sounded way more than just being psychotic. Don't you think? And the whole breathing and...
I'd like to know more about this family.
They should do a movie about it.
Yeah, they should.
Although they have plenty.
The Montana Vortex is a must-see if you come to Glacier. It's located in Columbia Falls, Montana, and it is a gravitational anomaly. The tour will take you about an hour, and it has 18 demonstrations. When you start, it's going to take you through different stations. Now, on the second one, he takes you and he shows you that this ground is completely level. He'll even put a marble down and it doesn't move. Now, in this demonstration, he's showing how the girls can switch positions and their height changes simply based off where they're standing on this cement walkway. I will tell you he's a lot better at describing why than what I am telling you right now. So as he does the second demonstration, he'll have my husband stand lower. He's then going to have him pass in front of him to show how his height changes simply by moving up on the concrete slab. Now, next we're going into the House of Mystery. When you go in here, the vortex is so strong it can make you feel dizzy, nauseous. It really messes with your body, but it is so cool. You can see people leaning, trying to walk in. Now on this first one, he leans back. He can go farther, but he's showing us how far you can go. Watching him climb the wall and hang forward was so cool, and you should feel like you're going counterclockwise in the center of the circle. This weight was heavy and the resistance was strong, and my favorite was the next demonstration of the broom standing on its own. Now this marble is rolling up instead of down like you would suspect, and this next one is where you can hang from a ladder and the gravitational pull will pull you away from it. You feel like 1,000 pounds trying to stand up from this chair, and it is so hard to do. My kids absolutely loved it. And when you're in here, your sensations really change. On this demonstration, you are showing if you are a particle or a wave. Now, both my girls were determined to be particles because as they spin around the pole, they come back exactly where they started. Now, myself and our tour guide were waves. A wave is somebody that as they circle the pole and come back around, they are not where they started. Now, when he comes back around, he will be where he started. There's also healing rocks and so many more demonstrations that I did not get on video, but this is a must-see if in Glacier.
Road trip.
What even is that?
It's red. I want to go.
I feel like I'd feel so weird.
Well, it's vortexy. A lot of energy. I can't imagine what we'd feel there. Physically, it was like a standing still gravitron at the fair.
That thing that spins around? Oh, Lord, no.
Or the UFO. I don't know what they call it anymore.
Yeah.
Cats, just like human beings, are not all created equal. Depending on the color of the fur and the breed even, the cat would carry a very different energetic imprint. So black cats, they are the most magical. Black cats are known for the strength of their protection. So black cats are the ones that are the best for any kinds of rituals or just any kind of like if you're just doing energy work. If you have a black cat in the house, you're going to be as protected as you can be. White cats are beautiful harmonizers of the space, and specifically they bring a lot of lighthearted energies and healing. With a white cat, like light enters your house, so like light enters your life. They are very happy-go-lucky, so they're very good for heart healing. They're really good for places where people are a little bit sad, like the emotions are running really high, because they're amazing emotional healers, amazing heart healers. They can literally patch up any heart wound, and they bring in that lightness into everything and really help you actually activate your higher centers. So the white cats really operated the higher centers, and then that's quite beautiful. The orange cats are extremely intuitive. They can really merge with the owner or the person they consider to be their person. And through that merging, they can help you work through mental blocks. That's actually really special. So they can help you even with your mental, meaning like negative thoughts, negative belief systems. If you have intrusive thoughts, if you just feel like you're living in a negativity creativity bubble, the orange cat is really, really good for that because they do connect to the mental, not just the emotional. The orange cats are really, really supportive of somebody's personal growth or change. So really, really good cats if you're like, making a change or like need help, like massively shifting something. Gray cats like to come to houses where interpersonal relationships are not necessarily always easy between people because they can harmonize a family unit. Or sometimes the gray cat would choose to come into a family that just lost a loved one. Like somebody passed away and the gray cat really comes to fill that void. And it's almost like they are bringing cohesion back to a family unit, a tribe, or a lineage. They're that magical.
Cats are different according to their color.
I have an affinity for orange cats. I love the redheads, the auburns, the oranges. I don't know why. I stray away from the gray cats a little bit more. I love the black cats too, but
yeah,
I think that they present different personalities, obviously. I think that cats in those genres of colors have commonalities too.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been drawn to orange and tabbies.
Okay.
Like those are my core cats since I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
If you ain't know shit about a Pisces, just know this shit right here. That's a psychic motherfucker. If anybody is talking to a spirit, it's them. They are the closest to our ancestors. You take one motherfucking step, they know your feelings, your emotions, and they see your future at that given time. Well, these the type of motherfuckers that be seeing shit in dreams and shit. Some of them might not even realize how psychic they are. It ain't no motherfucking choice. It's just on them, okay? They also susceptible to a lot of negative energy. These are empaths. So don't be fucking with a Pisces. Don't let them get the mirror in your ass, cause you gonna see a better mirror. Why you think these motherfuckers always trying to give advice? Because they done been through it. They are their experiences. These motherfuckers so in tune that they get the feeling what you feeling for real, not for fake. Like you telling them a story about some shit that happened and you mad, nigga, they gonna be mad with you. What you trying to do? A lot of Pisces don't be knowing how powerful they are. But instead, they might suppress it with your choice of, their feelings and emotions can run so deep that they don't know how to communicate this shit, even though they're communicators. This is why they are so artistic and creative. How they express themselves through creativity, philosophy, music.
You got two Pisces here as your hosts. So we can say truth.
Yeah, a Pisces, we will feel it, we will dream it.
We will know it.
Yeah, straight know it.
Don't try to snow us, y'all. We know. Thanks for checking our videos out with us today. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next time.